Tuesday. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Stamp here in the UK. How's everybody doing today? Oh, that was dodgy. Nearly lost my coffee then. That wouldn't have been good. I can see we've got some viewers. I shall just wait for the chat to kick in so that I know that you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. Had a weird message on the screen this morning, so hopefully we'll get the all clear from Stuart. I think that might be it there. Sound is good. Thank you, Stuart. So yes, welcome. Week 4 of easy gridwork, lacework here on Groovi Tuesday. So there we go. Everyone's coming in now. Good morning, Sharon. It's lovely to have everybody's company again today. It's rather tropical down here in Kent compared to the last couple of days. Driving in this morning, it was 6 degrees. Previously, it's been sort of like -2, -4. So yeah, tropical. Not tropical enough for short sleeve shirts just yet. So, but it's definitely an improvement on the last couple of days. So, what's the weather? Should we have our local weather report to start off with? What's the weather like where everybody is today? Good morning, Helen, Sally, Mary. There we go. Everyone's coming in now. So it's bright and crisp in Leicestershire. Josie has just bought. Stephen's just bought a cup of tea. Had frost. It's very cold in the northeast in Derbyshire. Excellent. Elaine can catch live today. Excellent. 5 degrees in grey South London. Yeah, is it grey outside? I can't remember. I was only out there 5 minutes ago. Weird. And there's no windows in here, so I can't check. But I don't know if the sun was trying to come through. So yeah, it's lovely to have your company again. Tuesday again, it's sort of a bit of a yo-yo at the moment, backwards and forwards to the TV studio. So since we last met last Tuesday, I had it was a 1-day special, wasn't it? Oh, I'm forgetting myself. On Wednesday and Thursday. That's right, In the Country with Linda Williams. Beautiful, beautiful place. So up there Wednesday and Thursday, back in the office on Friday, and then I went back up again on Sunday to have a look at these beautiful diagonal ribbon grids from Josie again. Very, very popular on the show. So hopefully we've got some new viewers with us today. Hands up if you're new to the Groovi Tuesday. If you were watching on Sunday. -1 in High Wycombe. Beautiful and sunny in Cornwall. Karen says it's warmer. Alison, cloudy, and it just disappeared. Cloudy and cold. Comba. Whereabouts is Comba? Is it Comba? Is that how it's pronounced? Sunny and frosty in Solihull. -1 in High Wycombe. We can keep you -1, Bernie. Lorraine. Sunny but cool Spain. Lovely. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we have anybody new to the Groovi Tuesday episodes. Very friendly place. We have lots of fun. I'll try not to perforate my finger this week. No idea how I did that last week. But yeah, that was funny. So if you want to giggle, go back and watch last week's episode. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So so what have we got this week? Just while people are just pulling up a chair and getting comfortable. This week, what have I got on my list? So tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, the lovely Dawn Wheeler is revisiting those beautiful floral frame fresh cut dies that she had as a 1-day special earlier this month. So it's an extra hour on that. And then I'm back up at TV on Friday for 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock. And I'm also doing 11 o'clock on Craft Extra. So 3 hours, so 9 till 10. Clear that up, get ready for then 9 till 10, then 11 till 12, and then 1 till 2, and then chuck it all in the car, and needless to say, whoops, chuck it all in the car, and then head back home. So yeah, so another busy week here at Clarity Towers. So over the past, this is our 4th week, we've been looking at Josie's diagonal ribbon grids, which, as I say, I showcased on Create and Craft on Sunday at 4 and 8. And one of the cards I demoed during that hour was this one that Josie had actually created. Let me zoom in a little bit now. Do my stretching exercises. And static. Oh, sorry, went too quick on that. Sorry. Okay, so this is a piece that Josie created using the ribbon grid. We've got the lovely floral numbers in the middle, so it just creates a really nice frame for your artwork. And what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks is we've been sort of building up to this. And as I say, if you're not into picot cutting yet, you don't have to worry about that, because just by embossing and perforating the design, you can still get a really beautiful piece of artwork. So we have another piece here created by Francis. Just by changing the color of your background or your ribbon gives it a different look as well. Now this one here, created by Glynis, doesn't have any ribbon in it at all. Glynis has just picot cut the sort of the apertures, and it gives it a different look from, if I compare the two side by side, you've only got tiny little apertures visible because the ribbon is sort of, maybe, is it better on, maybe, yeah, you can sort of see it a little bit better on this one in comparison. So you can see here where you've got the open apertures where the ribbon's been threaded through, that's been covered with the ribbon. And then finally, we have this piece by lovely Jane. Different colour parchment, different colour ribbon, and the beautiful floral alphabet in the middle. Okay. So a few people saying they've had difficulty finding us this morning. Stuart, maybe possibly on the Clarity Facebook page, you could just pop a link up. Don't know why that would be. Maybe it's just glitches. We're good at glitches, aren't we? So this is what just gives you some idea on that one particular design. And then I've got the actual samplers that Josie created for the packaging for this set of diagonal plates. So this one here is Hope You Feel Better Soon. So you can see you've got sort of more of a sort of a pointy pattern. That's a good word. I like that, pointy pattern. And it's more sort of neutral down the side. But then when you turn it round, I mean, you can have this whichever way you choose. Okay. Then we have the season's greetings. So not as pointy, but just key points on there. So when you compare it between the two, lots of pointy bits, just a few. Then we have the one that we're working on here. So this, for me, this reminds more of sort of like castle turrets. So you've got the design here, and I love these little ones. This, one of the reasons I chose this one, because I thought this would be a really good one to practice on. So, and then finally, the thinking of you. So it has the turrets again, but different heights and more of a space in between each of them. So it just gives you an idea of what the designs look like. Okay. -18 in Norway. Ouch. Good morning, Ellen. But you must be used to that sort of weather. Is that normal for Norway, -18? Wow. I thought it was bad enough driving up on Sunday to Peterborough, and in some places on the M11, it was -8. I mean, I was in the car, so -18. Wow. Ooh. Oh, that's just sent a shiver down my back. So far, what we've done is let's show you. We've done the embossing, and last week we started to do our perforating. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so we started to do the perforating. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue with our perforating. I'm not going to say we're going to do anything else because I never get to it because I waffle too much. So we'll continue perforating, and we'll see how far we get during this morning's sessions. I mean, it's 10 past, so who knows? So what are we going to need for this morning's session? Okay, so we need our piece of artwork we've been working on. Okay, then we're going to need our super foam. So I've gone for the 12 by 12 black because I'm not going to use the light panel, although I may do. No, may do. If you're going to use your light panel, then you want your white 12 by 12 super foam. You need the plate that you're working on. So I'm going to get mine out of my folder. Sending love your way. Then, so I need my plate. I need my A4 square A4 plate mate, already hinged together. So that's going to go like so on there. Sits perfectly on the 12 by 12 super foam. Make sure I've got perforate this side up. That's going to go in there. So I need that. I'm going to need Groovi guard, definitely. And then I'm going to need my 1 needle bolt. And I'm definitely going to need some Groovi tabs. And I think that's all we're going to need for this morning. You may want to have your scissors or your snips to hand, just in case. I'm not saying that we will, but just in case. So yeah, so your plate mate, your plate, Groovi guard, Groovi tabs, 1 needle bolt, glasses maybe, definitely. Are they clean? Yep, they're clean. Glasses and my artwork. Okay, so that's what we're going to need for this morning. And a hot beverage, maybe. Cold beverage, entirely. I mean, I'm sure in Norway at -18, yeah, it's probably a hot beverage. So, oh, and breathe. Just nice and chill. Helen says it's -56 in China. Really? Wow. That, I can't even. I'm sure it's very cold in many places, but I suppose places where people live and go about their day-to-day business, I can't imagine temperatures at that level. Gosh, that's mad. And there's me whinging about, oh, it was -8. Not whinging, just sort of saying. Do I whinge? I'm sure I do whinge. Right, okay. So I think we're good to get going. It's nice and calm. It's definitely warmer in here today, which indicates that it's warmer outside as well. Hands are nice and warm, and I think we're good to get going. Are we all ready? Right, we shall begin or continue. So what we're going to do first is we're going to have a look at our design, and because we've already started to perforate already, I need this bit up here. No, I'm going to do it up there, aren't I? Sort yourself out, Mr. Church. Don't forget, we're perforating from the front. So what I'm going to do now, because we'd already done some perforating, this will relocate itself into those perforations. Okay, so I'm just going to press those back into the holes. I'm going to take my Groovi tabs to hold it into position. I'm going to use a few. So I'm just making sure. I'm just following the design. So I'm going to pop one just there. I'm going to pop another one there. I'm going to pop one further down here, just to keep it all in place. So gently smooth it down. And there we go. Right. Groovi guard definitely makes a difference. So I'm going to zoom in on this now that I've got my artwork in place. And stretch and static. Oh, coming a bit slow this time. Oh, wrong way. I've got a piece of paper in front of me saying which way I need to move the nozzle. I still got it wrong. Okay, coming in nice and slowly. There we go. It's quite hypnotic, isn't it? Right. Okay. I've just, because I've come in that close, I can see it now. Can you spot what I can spot? Okay, before I say anything, answers on a postcard, to see if you can see what I can see. There's a song there, isn't there? Oh, who sang that? Can you see what I see? Or think along those lines anyway. So you've got tumble dry sheet, Paul. Yeah, tumble dry sheet. I can use that if I choose to. I can pop that underneath to lubricate the needles every time I perforate. So let's do that as well. Okay. But can you spot the little mistake? Not getting any answer on that. It's just me being super. That dot there isn't as prominent as all the others. I didn't press in so much. But it doesn't matter. No one's going to see it. So the only reason I saw it is as I was zooming in super close. But in the whole scheme of things, nobody's going to notice that tiny little dot is lighter than all the other dots. Okay, glasses on. And we'll perforate. So one of the great things about having these plates from Josie is that, I mentioned this the other day on TV, when we're perforating, you need to hold the tool in an upright position. Okay, so what the grid does is that the grid forces the tool to be in an upright position. So you just push the needle, let's bring that down a little bit, into the hole, and we just perforate. Now, the great thing about these grids is that I don't need to worry about where there's holes and where there isn't holes, because Josie has done all the work for us. So if I try to perforate where one of those little dots are, nothing's going to happen. Okay. So we're just going to enjoy this as we perforate. And what you'll notice is that, we probably won't notice because you can't see it from that angle, but when you're doing this, I'm not perforating all the way through. It doesn't need that because it's only the tip of the point of the tool. I'm just going to see if I can zoom in on this one a little bit more. See if we can come in a little bit closer. There we go. Whoops, a little bit out of focus. There we go. Excuse me. You don't need to perforate all the way through, but if you had the translucent foam underneath, which is only a 4mm foam, you wouldn't really get the depth of the perforation. Okay, so that's why you need the super foam or the 10mm foam, which we have available in 12x12, A4 and A5, and it comes in both black and white as well. So you have your various different choices to do that, but you'll see that I'm not going all the way in. Okay, you can if you want to, but I just find you go halfway down the length of the needle, and that is sufficient to give you a nice perforated hole. Okay, so we're just going to work our way along the design. See, for me, the perforating is just as relaxing as the embossing of the dots or tracing out the line on a normal Groovi plate. Now, don't forget, we're doing this from the front of our work, so that all the perforated parchment, all the scratchy bits, are at the back. Okay. So has anybody finished their artwork yet? I haven't had a chance to go on Facebook this week to have a look to see how everybody's getting on. So apologies for that. So if you're new to the party, I mean, many of you will already be familiar or members, but on Facebook, we have Groovi Worldwide and Clarity Worldwide. Two fantastic groups. All the design team members are in there. Lots of Groovi addicts are in there as well. Offering advice, asking questions, helping one another out, sharing beautiful artwork. So you're never alone when it comes to clarity and crafting. There will always be someone there. Doesn't matter what time of the day, somebody will be in there. And so if you ever have any questions, and the lovely Grace, she monitors the rooms to make sure it's all nice and safe and calm and everything else. So it's a very, I mean, that's what crafting's all about, isn't it? Feeling safe and enjoying what you do. And there's no pressure with crafting. I mean, sometimes we can create our own pressure by saying, oh, I've got to do this by such and such a time. But at the end of the day, I mean, I know many of us, we just craft for the sake of crafting. It's a distraction. It gives us something to do. So let's just slide that up now. Okay. Are we okay with this angle, or would you prefer it on the overhead? So it seems that there's quite a few people that couldn't find the link or the notification. So I'll get Jim and Stuart to look into that to find out why that may be for next week. But all you have to remember is every Tuesday at 10 o'clock, I'll be here, Groovi Tuesday, and you can watch it via the Clarity Facebook page or also on the Clarity YouTube page. And all of the previous episodes are always available. It's like a full library of knowledge, fun, laughter, not only of Groovi, but all things Clarity. All the previous issues of the shack that Bob started back in lockdown. So if you've got a few hours or days that you need to lose, then that's a good place to go and head over. So okay, we're going to go along. It doesn't take long to do. I mean, we only started here, didn't we? And it hasn't taken that long to do down to here. And in a way, you get carried away. You just need to make sure that if you've got any breakfast on the go, or you've got your lunch in the oven, or your dinner in the oven, you just need to be aware that you need to keep an eye on what's in the oven. So, seen many a story, people forgotten, they got carried away. So what else have I got to share with you this week? So we've spoken about the upcoming TV shows for this week. What else have I mentioned already? So today, as well as being Groovy Tuesday, today also sees the launch of a brand new design of the week to celebrate 30 years of all things clarity. So I'm sure Stuart will pop a link up to this week's design of the week. 30% off plus club discount for 1 week only. And this week it is The Happy Couple, designed by Barbara. So that is available now for 1 week only. Then what else? We've got the Clarity Matters blog that lovely Grace looks after on a Saturday and a Sunday. Saturday is all about sharing everybody's artwork, because not everybody is on Facebook. So you may not get the opportunity to see beautiful pieces that other people have created. So Grace showcases that on Saturday, and then on Sunday there is I've run out now, thinking, why is that not going through? There's no holes, Paul, because we've come to the end of that section. Okay, so let's finish off, because it goes as far as there. I'm thinking, why is that not going in? It's obvious, really. I'll show you why in a moment. So the design team do a fantastic job with a step-by-step project, a list of all the ingredients, and I know many of you follow that every single week, because I see the artwork you've created following those instructions on Facebook. Okay, so that's the end of that bit. Let's put this row in here, because I know then I've got to the end. So step-by-step projects from the design team. It's definitely worth checking out. It gets published every Sunday at 8 a.m. And again, just like our YouTubes and our Facebook Lives, you can go back. There's a full library. I can't remember what number we're up to now. Is it about 78? No, this is 80. I think it's got to be over in the hundreds by now. Yeah. Okay, so I was trying to perforate further down on the pattern, and the needle wasn't going through. And I'm thinking, why is it not going through? So let me show you. Because we're working on the side part of the design, I'll come on to the overhead on this one. I'll zoom out a little bit. Just bear with while I stand up and stretch. There we go. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit now. And if I gently, because I've used new Groovi tabs, I just need to be careful. So we're going to lift that off. Now, if I just move it to the side, can you see the perforating? Because of the way in which the plates have been designed, it's like a horseshoe. So we've been working down the shorter side. Okay. So what I need to do now, in order to continue this row, is, I should have done the other side first, but it doesn't matter. There's no rush, is there? So now, first of all, I'm going to get rid of these Groovi tabs because they're new, they're super sticky. Okay, so let's do that. So now what we're going to do, this was the piece we've just been working on. And remember how I showed you how you needed to line up your pattern to make sure it was in the right place. Now, the easiest way of doing this on this particular one is to look at the pattern across the top. I was just trying it here, but it's easier if you come in over the top like so. Okay, this is where you do need to spend a little bit of time just making sure it's in the right place. Okay, and what you'll find is because the perforations go further down, you can't see that, hang on, because the perforations, so if I bring this over, you see because we're overlapping the design, then this will slot in to assist with that. Okay, so just going to go in with my head, but you can sort of just gently press down and you'll feel that it locks into place down here. Okay, and now I'm just checking that, oh, come on, Paul, let's get a Groovi tab going. Oh dear, oh dear. Take your time, there's no rush. Right, let's take that like so. There we go, that looks right. And I'm looking at the pattern just up here. So I'm going to put that Groovi tab to hold the bit of parchment there. Then I'm going to have a look across the top. Just give it a slight little twist. So I think that looks good there. I think that looks okay over this side. Yeah, and then another Groovi tab at the top. And then the final Groovi tab, I'm going to just pop down the bottom. So let me zoom out now so we can see this one. There's that Groovi tab. Stretching again and zooming out and static and more static. Okay. So I wrote on my parchment Groovy Tuesday because I took this up to the TV studio on Sunday to show you what we'd been working on. And I thought I'd better write on it, otherwise it's going to get mixed up with all of the demo pieces. So what we're going to do now is we're also going to lift this up, move our tumble dry sheet over to this side, because now we're going to work on this area here. So make sure your work's nice and flat. I've lifted it up, so I'm just going to go back in and check that everything is in the right position. Yeah, looks good to me. It definitely looks good to me. Ooh. So yeah, I mean, beautiful grid and lace work. We often see the beautiful artwork from the design team and you think, oh, there's no way you could do that. That's what I always thought. I thought, oh, I can't go down that road at all. I'll go as far as I can on the Groovi bus with the colouring in, the white work, and normal perforating and picot cutting. But I thought there's no way that I'd be able to create beautiful pieces of lacework to frame my artwork. And that's where the conversation between Barbara and Josie came about, and the grids, because we had our basic grids and we also had obviously our designs. I mean, one of the first things that we did back in the day were the perforated borders that the lovely Tina Cox designed, and it was sort of perforated. They were just borders. We've got them available. They come in straight and diagonal. You've got them as just a basic grid, but you've also got straight 1, straight 2, diagonal 1 and diagonal 2. And Tina did 2 project books, and all of the artwork that Tina did using those borders are included within the II books. I'm sure Stuart could pop a link up to those, because sometimes you'll look at a piece of artwork and you think, oh, I wonder how that's done. So that's one of the benefits of the II books, because we often show artwork on TV, but we have to sort of go through it fairly quickly, because obviously it's a shopping channel, and we obviously want to get to demo. And the design team put so much work on them, and we put the images onto Barbara's blog as well, so you can go in and check the blog out, which is barbaragrayblog.com, and you can have a look at the artwork as well. But to have a book in front of you, no internet connection required, it's really good. So we had the borders, and then the concept of the duet plates was, say, it was a conversation, I think it was between Josie, Barbara and Jim in the office, to work out the practicalities of it, how it would work, because we manufacture all the Groovi plates ourselves with the engraving on our laser machines, but we can't make holes in them. So teamwork again, Mr. Dave found, we call them the killer drillers, and they get sent to them to drill the holes first, then they come back, and then we do the engraving. Now, we did think about, okay, well, let's do the drilling and the engraving all together, but you've got to be so precise lining up those machines, and each machine would have a slight variant, just like you get with die cutting machines. So we thought it was best to have it in 2 parts, but on the same plate, hence them being called the duet plates. But to do this with the duet plates, whether you go with the straight design or the diagonal design, it really does make it achievable. And adds that extra. And with parchment, it takes time. We know that. But it's definitely a lot quicker using the Groovi system than it would be on a traditional method. And it's easier to replicate as well. I remember, say, I've said this many occasions, and it's true. When we first started getting the designs from Josie, Jim would do all the laying out, and then I'd test it. But I test it on a printed pattern, and it didn't look, by the time I'd finished perforating it, it didn't look like anything that Josie had created, because of the position I was holding the tool. I was holding the tool and perforating at an angle, and it's key that the tool is in that upright position. So the grid gives you that as well. So maybe if you decide to go on to paper patterns, then you've got that practice of going in the upright position. So, but the plates. Just seen lovely Glynis saying she uses water grids so much. There's so much mileage in those. There really, really is, just for a decorative edge along your card. Okay, so let's come back in and carry on with our perforating. Now that I've sort of lubricated with a drop of coffee. Okay, So let's see if we come back in on this camera. Where are we on this camera? We need to go forward and move this out of the way. And we're going to come, hang on, down this way. There we go. So we can see now where we've finished off our perforating, and now we're going to continue. So I'm going to use the smaller aperture of the Groovi guard, and then we just carry on. Who watched Tina on Saturday? Tina was on a 1 and 5 on Create and Craft with some of Linda's flowers and lace plates. Tina asked for that show, and as she said, she just loves working with the designs from Linda, but she never gets the opportunity to do so because she's either sort of designing new products for us, or she's prepping for TV shows. So she really wanted to have a play with the designs from Linda. And she did 2 fantastic projects. And I'm sure she said that she would do step by step on her blog, which, if I remember rightly, it was something like Butterflies and Glitter with Tina Cox. So yeah, so she had great fun. She was on with Charlie at 1 o'clock and then Dan at 5 o'clock on Saturday. So but she's so talented. Well, all of the design team, the design team are super talented. And me personally, it makes my life and job so much easier having such a talented design team. Not only helping with the prep, but just to create beautiful pieces of artwork. There we go, another nod from Jane there. She loves Linda's flowers and lace. So, and Tina, I was watching on Saturday, and Tina is so fun with all her oopsie daisies, and then the ball tool rolled off the table, and she started apologising to the ball tool. I didn't mean to roll you. Oh. But what you do when you're watching Tina, what you can pick up without realising that you're picking stuff up. Diddley does it. That's it. That's another one, Jane. Yeah. Yeah, she's fantastic. So we're just going to carry on with our design and our perforating. Now, obviously, with the piece that we're working on at the moment, we've taken the design exactly how it comes. And what we'll do is we'll showcase over the next coming weeks how we can extend it. I mean, one of the demos I did on Sunday was using one of the other plates from Jane. Jane created it. The lovely turquoise one. And we just created a border. But what we're going to do over the next few weeks, we're going to continue with this one. We're going to do some picot cutting. And then I'm going to show you how to thread the ribbon as well. If you choose to use ribbon, you can also use paper. Excuse me. Strips of paper instead of ribbon, and you get a completely different look to it as well. So that's where we're heading over the next couple of weeks. Slow down. These new prescription in these glasses definitely make a difference. And I know if I was using the light panel, it would be even better, but I'm just going with the flow, as they say. So don't forget to keep checking out Barb's blog on a day-to-day basis. Barb's doing a quote of the day every day. And it's just, sorry, I got lost in that. Yeah, so barbaragrayblog.com should also be showcasing artwork off of TV shows coming up as well. But the quotes of the day can have different meanings depending on the day, depending on how you're feeling, how you interpret. That's it. The words and the meanings. So I love watching Tina. I love when she did her teaching classes on Facebook. They were as good, so good and informative. Yeah, she's a super talent. Is our Tina. So now we're just going to go up and we're going to start to go around the corner, and then we'll carry on and see how far we get during the course of the rest of this hour. So there's oh, spit your words out, Paul. Anyone got any questions? Not that I can answer them because I can't see what I'll do. I'll try and answer. Oh, it's Suzanne's birthday. Happy birthday, Suzanne. Does your little image indicate your birthday? Or is that for another reason? Happy birthday. Thank you for joining us. Feel very honoured for taking time out to join us on your birthday. Yeah, is there any questions out there? I mean, the design team is in the room. Josie's in the room. I'm sure I've seen Josie. I can see Jane in the room. Glynis is in the room. Not sure whether Carol Baker's in there today. She often pops in. So if I miss the question as it pops up, I'm sure one of those lovely ladies will pick up on it. I'm doing this and I'm thinking of Tina and diddly doos and everything else and all her sparkle and glitter. And I'm also thinking of chocolate and cakes. Crafting and cakes, crafting and chocolate. So what we're going to... So all of a sudden I've got this urge now for a big piece of chocolate cake. So I'll just get this in the right position as we're going around that corner now. Yeah, isn't it funny how you think of people and then something comes to mind? But a big slice of chocolate cake or some fresh cream chocolate eclairs. So, okay, Susan. Hi, Paul. New to this and wondered which mat is best to start piercing, please. Okay, very good question, Susan. I'm using our super foam. This is 12 by 12 because I'm working with the larger plates. It's 10 mil deep in thickness. I'll bring the white one in because I'm working on the black one. So you can see here the depth of it. So if I put the needle up against it, you can see that the needle is the same thickness as the mat. Because you then have the plate on top, the needle won't go all the way through. And this is 10mm thick. I'm sure Stuart could pop the link up for super foam. And you'll see that we have it available in both black, 12x12, A4, and A5 as well. So depending on your budget, on the plates that you're working with, then the super foam is a good start. Now, some of when we're doing some form of sort of perforating, like using multi-needle tools, we tend to go with just the thinner foam, which is 4mm, translucent. You've got the pico foam, which is the same thickness, and you've then got the one that comes with the light panel as well. So we often use the thinner foam to do shallow perforating, and then we use the super foam when we're doing perforating with grids, and also when we want to go in and reperforate. So I hope that has answered the question. I managed to catch that one. So I've just seen a message. So we're going to carry on perforating. Sorry. We're going to carry on perforating using the super foam. And as I say, I'm using the black super foam just to make it easier for everyone watching at home. Okay. But if I was at home, I would definitely be using the light panel with the white super foam. Stuart, maybe you could pop a link up for, because we do the light panel in 2 different sizes. We do an A4 one and an A5 one. And I know many people at home have both. They take the A5 one when they're out and about, and they have the larger one when they're at home. So options. But it's definitely a good investment once you've got it. And I know I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it, but I know I've seen people say once they've got it, they wish they'd got it sooner, because it just makes everything so much easier. So what other questions have we got there? Time for cake. Yeah, it is time for cake. Oh, you're going to have your birthday cake, Suzanne. Yeah, lovely. What type of cake have you got? Go on, make us all jealous. Tell us what type of cake you've got for your birthday cake. Is it like a Victoria sponge, or is it like a gatto, fresh cream gatto? So apple pie. Oh, I love apple pie with lots of cream and ice cream. Oh, I'm really hungry now for cake. Okay. So I'm just reading at the same time. Right, okay, Clive, very good question. So Clive is asking, this may be a stupid question, but I'm not a tech person. My question is, if I put something in the live chat on YouTube, do people watching on Facebook see it? Unfortunately not. There's no sort of crossover. Facebook doesn't talk to YouTube and YouTube doesn't talk to Facebook. 2 different platforms. And the only reason that I can see both of the conversations going on is because of the software that we use in order to broadcast out onto multiple platforms. So I can see when your little messages come up, you may have a little blue F next to your image, or the little red box with the play button in it. So that tells me where you're commenting from. So unfortunately, there isn't any way that both of the platforms can talk to one another. So I hope that answers your question, Clive. Where's my glasses? Put my glasses on to find my glasses. Okay, back on this one. So, okay. So we're going to carry on with our perforating. Any other questions? Have I missed any? Glynis is using a light wave now. She's using the St. James's lace duet. Yeah, because we've got all different types of duet plates. We've got kings, queens, and again, we give them these names just to give them identities and styling. So we've got kings, queens, princes, princesses. We've got Italian cities, French cities. Then we also have what I call, they're not basic, but we sort of call them sort of like the basic duets, which is in the Groovi Grid starter kit that I was showcasing on Create and Craft on Sunday. And you can buy those plates separately as well. So yeah, we often forget, don't we, all the different designs that Josie has sort of come up with. And I'm sure we've got others. Yeah, I've just been prompted. We've got palaces as well. So there's so many beautiful designs. Some are based on a straight grid. Right, let me just move this. I'm going to go forward and I'm going to come across. Bernie the Bolt. Yeah, we often forget some of the designs we already have in our stash. But sometimes it's good to go back and revisit. Or just check out the website and just search for duet grids and see what comes up. You may look at one and think, oh, I like the look of that, and give that one a go. Because the principle is the same, because of the way that Josie and Jim, that sounds like a TV program, doesn't it? Josie and Jim work together to create the plates for us to make it easy. I'm getting carried away now. I'm on a run. I'm in sewing machine mode. Whoops. See, look, I jumped then and I went to perforate that dot, little white dot, but nothing happened. Whew. Now, if this was a basic grid underneath, there'd be less white dots and more perforations, and it wouldn't look like anything that Josie had designed. So, can't believe time disappears when working with Groovi. You may want to purchase yourself a little timer and set a timer for an hour or 2 hours, especially if you've got something in the oven. Maybe you've got a cake in the oven. Yeah, maybe a cake in the oven. You definitely don't want that to burn. Doesn't matter if your dinner burns, but you don't want a cake to burn. Definitely not. See, I'm terrible. When I make cakes, I can't wait for them to cool down. I have to, I go for it straight away. They're still warm. They're not long out the oven and the tin. I have to test it to make sure that it tastes okay. So, oh dear. But I'm going to be good. I'm not going to have cake afterwards. May have a piece of celery or a carrot. Not. No, I'm not going to have anything. I'm going to be good. So, okay. It doesn't take long. Let's have a look on the overhead, and we'll zoom in a little bit so you can see how far we've got. So, okay. Oh, hang on, I've got to stretch. Static again. Oh, I've got make sure I don't wear this cardigan again. Which way am I going? I'm going in. So I'm going to come in this way. Slowly does it. There we go. So we're going to come in nice and slowly. So we can really, hopefully I haven't come in too close that when I start moving the tool, it goes out of focus. So you can see now, hopefully, let me remove that tumble dry sheet because you'll definitely be able to see it a lot clearer. There we go. So you can, sorry. So we can see now, this is how far we've got with our perforations, and we're going to carry on next week and do the rest. So it's all about sort of just chilling out and just relaxing for the hour, enjoying it, having some fun, and hopefully learning a thing or two. I know when I often watch Tina on TV and Barbara, I always pick up something, and sometimes you don't realize you're picking something up until you come to do it or do something similar, and then all of a sudden it's there, or you think, oh yeah, I remember that. And for me, that's the beauty of technology now, and with our Facebook Lives and our YouTube page, that you can go back and watch again and again and again, and it's all free. And you can watch it at any time of the day, night, doesn't matter where in the world you are. As long as you've got an internet connection, you can just go back and watch. So thank you once again for joining me this week. We'll continue on to part 5 next week. I'm going to say we're going to do some picot cutting next week. I'll say that now. So remind me, because I would have forgotten by Tuesday. No, but that would be the next part of the process for this design we're working on. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the week. I hope you can join me on Friday at 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. And don't forget to check out Barbara's blog, barbaragrayblog.com, every single day for a lovely quote. And the Clarity Matters blog, claritymattersblog.com, on a Saturday and a Sunday from the lovely Grace. So take it easy, and I'll see you all next week. Take care now. Bye-bye.